All right, so this is just your review. Before you should be watching the study guide review, you should already have your study guide done. Otherwise, you're just cheating yourself out of this. So 1/5 times 2. If you were going to work that out, it's like saying that 2 is over 1, right? So you could make that 1 down here at the bottom. And then multiply across, so you would get, oops, sorry about that, guys, 2/5, okay, just by multiplying across. Same thing on this next one, right? Put the 2 over a 1, okay? You would get 6 over 5, and then you're going to simplify. Oy, oy, oy. I need to switch back to not having my pen the whole time, apparently. Okay, so 5, 6, simplify. Okay, same on this next one. Put it over 1. I could simplify, make this a 1. 5 goes into 20 4 times, and then go across. Or I could have just multiplied across, either way. But realize that as you guys are going, the kind of answer I expect is this and this. Okay, these ors, that's fine for the study guide, but on a test, you need to be simplifying all the way down. Okay, so same thing here. When I go and look at this, right, I'm going to put 30 over 1. I can reduce this down to a 10, this down to once, right? 10 times 2 is 20. Okay, so I should be done there. Okay, multiply across. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 5 is 20. So 6/20ths. That can be simplified down to 3/10, both divisible by 2. Okay, I'm going to simplify first on this one again before I go multiplying, because I see this 3 and the 6, and I know they have something in common. 3 goes into 6 twice, 3 goes into 3 once. Same with 2 and 10, once and 5. So now I'm at 2/5. Okay, do you guys see how I simplified prior to doing my multiplication? What did I do wrong, guys? Find my error. 1 times 2, 2. Let me erase, see if I made an error here. Or did they not simplify down enough? They didn't simplify down enough. 2/5. All right, I didn't make an error. Makes me feel better. Todd worked in the garden 3/4 of an hour. He spent 1/4 of that time digging weeds. How long did he dig? So it's multiplication. Okay, you're going to take 3/4 times 1/4. Okay, 3 times 1 is 3, 4 times 4 is 16. So 3/16 of an hour. Right? Decimal equivalent, guys. If you're stuck on decimal equivalent, remember, divide the numerator by the denominator. So take the 1, divide it by 8, right? Add your decimal, your 0, okay, and then start subtracting. Add that 0, 8 into 20 twice. Go out at least 3 numbers, because you guys can see I just finally got there. So bring my decimal back up. Okay. 3/4 is one I just know because it's like 3/4. So if I had 3/4, I'd have 75 cents. It's one I suggest you memorize. 3 repeating, again, is another one I suggest you memorize. It's 1/3. We've talked about that one several times. 8/10, I would start out by writing it like this, and then I would simplify it down. And again, I expect you guys to simplify it down to this next answer, to the 4/5. How is multiplying fractions different from adding and subtracting them? Guys, you need to say something to the effect of, when you add and subtract fractions, you have to find a common denominator. But when you multiply, you just multiply across. Plus and minus fractions, you need a common denominator. Right? Okay, going forward. 3 divided by 5, okay, could be written like this. but it's wanting a decimal number. So then continue that out and actually do 3 divided by 5, add my decimal, 5 into 30, 6/10. Okay, could have doubled this. Do you guys see that? I could have gone, well, 6 over 10, 6/10. Okay, variety of ways to solve that. 3 divided by 1/5. Again, I could put this over 3 over 1, and then I can cross multiply. 3 times 5 is 15. 1 times 1 is 1, so I end up with 15 whole. Okay, same thing here. 3 over 1 divided by 2/5. Okay, 3 times 5 is 15. 1 times 2 is 2. Okay, 15 divided by 2 then, or start simplifying it. How many 2's are in there? I can pull 7 2's out of there and have 1 left over. So 7.5. You could have written this as, I would have probably written it as 7 1/2. And that's the same answer. Okay. Again, flip it or cross multiply. I'm going to flip it on this one. 8 over 9 times 3 over 2. I'm going to reduce 4, 1, 1, 3. Okay, so now I've got 4/3, which is equal to 1 1/3. Okay, if I didn't simplify first and I just multiplied across, you would get this answer, the 24/18, but it still simplifies down to the exact same thing. I think sometimes it's just easier to simplify beforehand. Okay, flip it and multiply. Okay, so 3/7 times 5/4. Multiply across. 3 times 5, 15. 4 times 7 is 28. And I'm done. Okay. Again, I can flip it and multiply. Remember, any whole number, it looks like that. So I can go 1/3 times 1 over 9, which is 1 over 27. Okay. Will 4 divided by 2/3 be more or less than 4? And explain yourself. It's going to be more because when you divide by 2/3, it's the same as multiplying by 1 1/2. Okay?